Welcome to the Library Learning Commons. Over the next few days that you're in the library with your class, we are going to be learning very specific skills. And we're going to be learning these skills to complete your Multimedia Photo Essay Assignment. So what I'd like to do right now is I'd like to show you an exemplar of the project in its completion so that we can then deconstruct it and break it down to help you with each section or each part of the assignment. So I'd like you to watch this tutorial, this exemplar, paying attention to the photos that were chosen, the length of time the photos were on the screen, the text used, the length of time the text was left on the screen, the transitions between each slide, were they effective, were they not effective, and also the song that was chosen. And remember, the goal is that you're going to have to know how to add the song so that it plays with the PowerPoint, the whole PowerPoint. So when you watch this example, those are the things I'd like you to focus on. Okay, so that was an excellent example of the assignment. And if you look at it with that kind of eye, just to get the whole big picture, there are things that stand out to you. So there were like really good images, interesting ways the images were angled. Those are the things that you want to think about. And we're going to talk a little bit about that tomorrow. But it's really important to just kind of have an overview of the project. So over the next 3 days that you're here, we're going to be breaking it down to 3 different areas. So on day 1, which is today, we're going to focus on the research component of the assignment. So we're going to find articles that are connected to the theme that you're going to use for your short story. And we're going to be teaching you how to search our online databases. So first of all, you're going to go to the Emily Carr website, and you're going to then click on the library tab at the top, which will take you to where the databases are located. In front of you, you should have the handout, the grade 9 photo essay research search terms brainstorming sheet, and on the reverse side is a blank copy of an online database chit. So if you have that in front of you with a pen, or pencil, then we'll be ready to start. So when you get to the Library Learning Commons website, you're going to go to the Gale databases. Today you're going to only use the Gale databases. Okay, and a database is basically a container. It's a company, Gale is the company, and they have this container, this database of all these articles that come from magazines, journals, book excerpts, newspapers, and it collects all of these articles into one place where you can then search them and then use them. The good thing about a database compared to a website is that a database actually gives you reliable sources, because all the things that are in a database are what we call peer reviewed, which means people that are experts in their field are able to have edited these pieces so that they are not biased and that they're factual. Whereas when you go to a website, if you're not sure of who the author is, you might not get a credible source. So for this project, you're going to use the Gale databases. So when we click on the Gale databases, we go to this section, and there are 49 different databases. But for this assignment, I'm going to get you to use the Power Search. When you click on the Power Search, it's going to search all those databases for your topics. So I'm going to go there now. When you're at home, you may be prompted for a password. There is no login for this product, but when you're at home, you may be prompted for the password, which is York, Y-O-R-K. All the logins and passwords are in your library orientation booklet that you should have received from the library. If you've not yet had your orientation, that will be forthcoming. But the password for this is York. You might want to write that down. All right, so when we go to this interface, we want to search for some search words. So before we do that, I just wanted to show you a sheet, the sheet that you have in front of you. There's an example of the brainstorming research sheet that we've provided you with. So in the middle circle, you're going to put your topic that's connected to your short story or the issue that you're going to be looking at. I've just chosen one that I don't think most students will do so that you can kind of get an idea. So what you want to do is in the little boxes around here, you want to write down words that you might use to search for information that connects to this short story. So I've done an example for homelessness, and I've brainstormed and looked in the databases. As I searched, I used words that I saw that were there, and I'm going to show you this in a second. So you want to be able to write down some words. You could add boxes as well as need be, but these are some ways we might search for things about homelessness. We might look at homelessness and poverty. We might look at mental health and homelessness. We might look at homelessness and causes, about why people are homeless. So there's lots of ways. So you want to use this organizer as a way to organize your search terms. So let's go back to the database, and we're going to have a look at this. So you're going to choose today to do an advanced search. And the reason I want to show you this is because most times teachers want you to have articles that are relevant and current. And currency would be within the last 5 years. Sometimes you have to go back 10 years to get good articles, but you're looking for 5 years. So we're going to just show you how to do that for the 5 years. And some of your topics that you might do for this assignment or connected to this short story may have to do with a historical time period, and then you might need to do some research farther back, which is fine, and your teacher will direct you. So first of all, I'm going to just type in my search terms for what I'm going to show you. Is I'm going to use homelessness in Toronto, okay, because I want it to be relevant to what I'm doing, where I live, and I'm going to just keep it as a keyword. You could put other search terms here. You could put poverty, and the word "and" is here. So this is called a Boolean search term, which in mathematics is a way to group things, to sort through things, to group them. And so you could do these kind of Boolean searches to get more specific information. I'm going to leave it general because I want to show you a couple things. Then you're going to click on full text. If you don't check this box off, you are going to get abstracts. And abstracts basically are a paragraph that describes what the article was about. But if you don't check full text, you'll just get an abstract, which means then you can't read the article. But if I've checked full text, I'm going to get the full article, which is what you want for this assignment. Then we're going to scroll down where it says by publication dates. You're going to check off between, because we're going to select a time period. So we're going to put 2010 to 2015, last 5 years. Okay, to see what comes up in this area. So then I'm going to click search, and it's going to search the databases, all of them, to find articles on those keywords, homelessness in Toronto. So if we look at the left side here, it's going to show you under subjects here, it's showing me that I have full text, and I'm going to hit the plus sign here so I can see all the subjects that it's connected to in terms of my search terms. So you can see my search only gave me 42 newspaper articles and 3 academic journals. So it's a pretty good small number of things. If I put in just a more general search term, I might get thousands of articles. So that's why using the subjects helps you to narrow down. But you see here I've got other words, mentally ill persons, healthcare services. So those are words I might add to the organizer for brainstorming research terms. Okay, so that's what you want to do. You want to be able to look at this information on the right to help narrow your search. So I'm just going to click on something here to start with. Let's look at this first one, Urban Restructuring, Homelessness and Collective Action in Toronto from 1980 to 2003. So when I click on the article, it's going to take me to the actual article. And you can see this is a full text article. The whole article's here. And on the right side, there are some tools that will be helpful to you. So one of the things you can do is you can email this article to yourself. Today when you're working on it, you might want to do that so that you are collecting the different articles, and then you can decide which pieces that you want to use. Sometimes it's hard when you find a really good article to find that same article again. So that's one way you can do that. You can also download it and it'll save into your downloads folder. When you email it, you want to be sure to email it to yourself as send as an item, as an attachment, because then that will give you the right things to include. Okay, so now that, let's say we want to look at this article, we would use it, then we'd have to cite it. So if I'm going to use a quote from this article or information from it, I need to cite that that's what I've used this article. So I'm going to show you now, walk through how you would cite a database online chit. That's what you're going to use. So I have saved already in advance for you an example of an article from the database, and this one is called Girl on the Street, and it's a full text article, but it's a short one, so I could have it on one screen so I could show you. So here is the article. It has the information here, and at the bottom it says source citation. So if you turn over your sheet right now, your database, your online database chit, I've made a big one there for you, and what I want you to do right now is we're going to complete it for you. We're going to actually work on completing the chit. Okay, so I have them side by side here to show you. So on the left is the database article, and on the right is the exemplar of the chit completed properly. So I want to show you and talk about how you do this. So on the chit that you have at your desk, I want you to fill this all in so that you have an example. So if you look at where it says source citation here at the bottom, it gives us the author's name. So this author, the first name is here, followed by the last name is first, comma, the last name, so Chess, comma, Taryn, comma, and Jean Daglish. And you want to make sure that you've copied it down properly. And here they've done the citation, and it is done in MLA here, but it's not done properly. So I want you to understand that these tools, when these online things give you citations, you still have to be the owner of the content on which you're putting on the chit. So there are some mistakes here, and I want to point them out to you. So if you look at this, so here you have the author's first name is reversed, and so first name is reversed from last name, but the second author's name we don't reverse in MLA. And you do need this comma. When you use this to make your work cited, you actually just write what's on the chit as well as the punctuation. You would ignore this comma, you would do the period here, you would have the opening quote, and then here you see girl on the street. But if you notice down here, they haven't capitalized the word street. So that's an error, because in MLA, the titles have to have all capitals except for small words. Okay, then we would put the period and then the end quotes. Okay, and the title of the periodical is what is the name of the magazine or journal that it came from. In this case, it's Toronto Life. Toronto Life would then be in italics on your works cited. The next thing you're going to look for is the publication date. So here it tells us it's February 2015. Whenever we put months, we always shorten them. You must shorten them and you must include a period. So February period 2015 : on your works cited. Then you'd look for the page number. So here it's just a single page, but let's say in the magazine it was pages 10 to 20. You would put 10-20 and then put the period. In this case, it's one page, so you'd put 10 period. The next thing that we have to include is the name of the database. Well, I told you at the beginning that we were going to be using the Gale databases, but you wouldn't put Gale here. You have to put which specific database did this article come from. And here it tells you it's from General One file. So that's the name of the database. And because it's a title, it again is in italics. So the chit tells you exactly what to write on your works cited. Then you would put period, web. You have to write this word out, period, and then the date of access. That's the date that you actually went on the computer and accessed the article. So today I put today's date, whereas I did this the day before, but you would put the date that you actually took the article and used it. Okay, and again, the month October has a period because it's a short form. So you'd put 8 October period 2015 and then another period. The chit number at the top does not go on the works cited, but the reason we do that is to cross-reference our note-taking with the actual sources. So another time you'll learn more about the cross-referencing. You don't need that for today. So I'm hoping you've copied this all down onto the exemplar. So remember the author's name, the first author listed is always reversed, last name first, followed by first name, followed by a comma, the word and all written out, A-N-D, and then the second author's name not reversed. Okay, the title of the work always has to have capital letters except for small words. The title of the periodical is what was the name of the journal. Okay, what was the name of the magazine? Okay, so that is the completed chit, and hopefully you've copied that down. So where the chits are located in the library is they're all located at the front on the reference area, so you can go there and you can grab chits. They're gray for the database. Every single source has a different color. So book chits are yellow, reference chits are green, and each one has a color. They're also available on the website. I just want to quickly show you that. So if you go to MLA Chits, you can see them here. So for this particular assignment, you're going to use the gray online database chits. And when you click on this, you'll get a page with 4 on a page. So if you run out at home, you always have backup. Okay, so today your job is to make sure that you spend time looking for articles that fit with your theme that you could possibly use. So you want to make sure the very first thing that you do is to think about this. I would do this before I do a search. I would think of words that connect to your issue. And then when you go to the database to do a search, you can add other words that you're finding as you're searching. Okay, so today the rest of the period is to be used to find 2 articles, and the only database that you're going to use again is the Gale databases, okay, because that's what your teachers want you to use for this assignment. Okay, good luck with that, and tomorrow we'll be looking at images, how to find copyright free images, and how we have to cite the images that we use. So that will be what we work on tomorrow. So today I'm hoping you'll find the 2 articles, and at least 2 articles. You might find more that you might consider using.